Welcome to Pojo number 5. This is a pretty chunky issue. November's been a good month for news and shit, so I guess I'll make up for number 4 being so short. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. This episode is sponsored by Brilliant Shiny Paints. Have you been cheating on all your mock tests in college or university because of coronavirus and how everything's online? Well, have I got the app for you? For just £5 a month, Shiny Brilliant Paint will allow you to bypass all plagiarism detectors. It will get the original piece of work that you have stolen, and it will just make it look, apply a specific font and shit. This will fool the plagiarism detectors. Because it looks nicer than the original, it must be a separate thing altogether and not just a repeat. Anyway, thanks to our sponsor, Brilliant Shiny Paint there. Let's get into it. Welcome to news for Pojo Stalin number 5. Quite an eventful month this month. We've had episodes 2 to 5 of Doctor Who Series 13. We have had the release of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and YouTube also removed the dislike button. So let's get into it. First things first, YouTube removing the dislike button. Whatever. I don't really care. I think you should maybe just remove the rating system altogether. I don't know. And maybe there's like some advertising consequence to that. I don't know. I think if you're trying to watch like things like political content, you could bias your opinion. Like, oh, a lot of people like this, it must be good. A lot of people dislike this, it must be bullshit. Especially if they could be saying something that's right, and someone could, someone's YouTube channel could say, dislike that video on mass. If you wish, like I'll compromise with you because I think the popular opinion, the opinion of the mob, is and of course we must obey the mob, is that this was the wrong decision. We should keep the dislike one. I think you should be able to switch ratings on and off. Have a setting for dislikes and likes on. Have a setting for just likes on. Fuck it, be weird. Have a system for or a setting for having dislikes only on, and a setting for having them both off. And I don't know why you have to I don't know why YouTube has to force everyone into removing dislikes. Like every video must not have a dislike button. Nah, the YouTube are usually tone deaf. We're used to it, and that's all I have to say on the matter, really. People just invent a dislike button in the comment section anyway. But anyway, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I got Brilliant Diamond. I pre-ordered it. Yeah, it's pretty much just Pokemon. So far I'm at the I've just beaten the second gym, and just stormed the Team Galactic base in Eterna City. It's just Pokemon Diamond all over again. It looks nicer. It's ironed out some of the kinks of the original, like the HP bar speed, the walking running speed. I like how running's your default speed. That's sort of been a thing since Generation 7, since 2016 with Sun and Moon. God, that was 5 years ago. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so far so good. I'm not expecting anything more. It's just literally Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. It's really more of a port than a remake. I am glad that for the Grand Underground, because they give you access to some Pokemon that you wouldn't have otherwise. For example, Licky Tongue, because I only use Licky, because why not? Um, but yeah. But the real meat of this news this month is Doctor Who Series 13, episodes 2 to 4 to 5. First of all, let's start with episode 2, War of the Centaurans. Probably the strongest Series 13 episode. The finale doesn't look that great. It's a bit of a skeleton finale. It's going to be exposition dump. It might be good. The finale might be that the Doctor is locked up in shit, and the companions have to save her. That sounds good, but it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be all exposition dumping, and sure, the companions are going to save the world and shit, but yeah, I don't have much faith in it. I hope I'm wrong though. Series 14 has definitely been Chris Chibnall's strongest season for Doctor Who, and War of the Centaurans is the strongest. It's probably going to turn out to be the strongest Series 13 episode, and for me, definitely one of the strongest 13th Doctor episodes. Um, I thought the episode was very charming. That Chris Chibnall of all people, doing the Centaurans right, where not even RTD could save the Centaurans, not even he could do them right. And Moffat didn't really try, did he? Yeah, I'm very impressed with the job that he done, and I think Over the Stars is a pretty well written episode, and I like the cliffhanger. I like how Yasmin and Vinder get fucked up by by getting turned into Mori. Um, I think the cliffhangers for this series are a bit bullshit. How they get resolved. I still don't. Maybe I'm not paying attention. I still don't know how the Halloween Apocalypse cliffhanger got resolved, or how the War of the Centaurans cliffhanger was. I think it was a bit bullshit. Because when he clicked his fingers, um, I think on the cliffhanger, I don't think the 13th Doctor even jumped in. I maybe I'm not paying attention. Once Upon a Time, episode 3. I I think Chibnall messed with the formula, and I respect him for that. Um, I admire it from a creative point of view. The episode itself was a bit meh. It was okay. It was all right. One of the weaker episodes, but it was all right. Um, I like the concept of the. I've got immense respect for that. I think that's something Doctor should be doing more. Um, episode 4, Village of the Angels, I enjoyed. And one thing about this series is they pull a lot of things out their arse. Um, I think maybe I wasn't paying attention again, but I remember they're trapped in the basement of this guy's house, and the Weeping Angels are going to fuck him up. They're surrounded, and then the Doctor's like, "Oh yeah, you've got a secret entrance. Don't you read your floor plans?" And I was like, "What the fuck? That's a bit bullshit." Yeah, and a decent cliffhanger. And a pretty well written episode. Definitely one of the strongest of Series 13. One of the strongest Chibnall episodes. 13th Doctor episodes, period. And will probably appear in my top 5 Whittaker episodes. And alas, we come to episode 5, Survivors of the Flux. Another exposition episode, or just like half this series. You've got the Exposition trilogy, the Halloween Apocalypse, Once Upon a Time, and Survivors of the Flux. Survivors of the Flux was decent. We get to see Tecturian, which I'd love to see as a recurring character. It looks like she was like just destroyed. But again, the show's about time travel. Maybe you can see her before then. I like how the Division is this sort of super powerful secret force. I like that. I like how it exists between multiverses, between universes. I think that's very cool. I liked how the companions were doing shit on their own. The episode was missing something though. it wasn't so much a Doctor Who episode, but rather just like a Doctor Who story. It was a part in a bigger story, which is, no shits. That's the whole point of the series. It's a one big story, but I think I'm probably best judging Series 13 as a single story than judging each individual episode. Because it's like is Destiny of the Daleks Part 3 your favourite Doctor Who episode? And it's like, I don't know. I sort of view it as a whole story rather than its own thing. Um yeah, maybe I should view it like that. But then again, some of these parts of Flux are so distinct that you can call them their own episodes, like the War of the Centaurs and Village of the Angels. They're so distinct that I suspect they're probably going to be in the original Series 13, which probably would have been, like Series 11 and 12. It wouldn't have been one whole story. I suspect they were going to be in the original Series 13 uh, as their own stories, but have been slightly modified to fit in this episode. I guess Chibnall couldn't let it go. Um, but yeah, definitely the strongest, even if the finale turns out to be shit, definitely the strongest 13th Doctor season in terms of performance, in terms of character, in terms of like the writing, the quality of the scripts. Um, definitely so. It's definitely a significant contribution to Doctor Who. I don't think you could say that Chris Chibnall done nothing when he was showrunner. Um, but yeah, one of my favourite things of the era is that he done so much with the Sontarans. But anyway, I'm going to not mention. I'll save that for when I review Flux as a whole unit. Anyway, that's the news. I'll see you Kunts next time. Welcome to this week's review, or this month's review. we'll be talking about high culture this week. We'll be talking about the book Lolita, written in the year 1959, or published in the year 1959. I'm not sure. Yeah, we were in that for like a month or two. And I got to say, I enjoyed the book. Now I'm not the best reader in the world. I was always in like the lowest reading group in like primary school, but I enjoyed it. It's very surprising that a book from all the way back then can be about something so like fucked up. It's essentially about a paedophile who needs a place to live. He moves into this place with this landlady, and there's this landlady there. She's got this, daughter. It's like 13. Of course, being a paedophile, he shows interest in her. Eventually, I guess there's spoilers for Lolita. The landlady dies, and essentially the main character, the paedophile, gets access to the girl, and they go all across America. And he essentially rapes her all the time, and it's fucking lovely. Well, obviously not. And then eventually she like runs away to the arms of another paedophile, and then because she won't take part in his fucking orgies, this other paedophile kicks her out. After a couple of years, when this girl Lolita is like all grown up, she's like 19 now, and she's like pregnant with a baby, and she's going out with like a normal bloke. Humbert finds her. This is the name of the paedophile, the main guy. Tries to get her back, back to getting raped all the time. And she says no. He's devastated, and so he pretty much finds the paedophile that I think he might have abducted her. I read that on a wiki page. Because for some reason I was like looking up because the reveal for I think it's meant to be a shocking reveal of the identity of the other paedophile, but it's like what? Don't think I was paying attention. But I accidentally got spoiled, and you know, the main paedophile eventually kills this other paedophile in the end by shooting him, and then he goes to jail. The book's got a poetic ending. I quite love. Quite loved it. Pretty much. After he kills the paedophile, he drives on the wrong side of the road to a hill where he looks off in the distance and he hears the sound of children playing. And it goes something like this, like the final quote, the final bit of the book, like the final like sentence or something. Pretty much is like it wasn't Lolita's body that made him sad. It wasn't Lolita's the absence of Lolita's body that was sad. It was the absence of her voice in the Concorde. I thought it's pretty nice way to end it. As you can tell, I'm not the most poetic guy out there, but I think it just meant that he thought that it was all about sex with Lolita, but in fact he just enjoyed her company. Um, but yeah, the book's written like a memoir. It's like it's supposed to be like the main like Humbert is writing this book from jail like a memoir, and it's so sad because when the book opens, you get a foreword written by fictional characters, right, in the book, not by like, an actual real person, and they tell you, oh, straight up, um, like I don't know, was it 1958? Humbert dies of a heart attack a day before his trial, and you don't know it at the time, but um, Lolita, they use another name for it, but dies in childbirth on Christmas Day that same year. Um, so a very lovely book, but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of fancy ass words in there, and the book was written by Vladimir Noboskov. Um, the guy is a native Russian, but he writes so fluently. It's amazing. Lolita is considered one of the best books of all time. It's certainly cool in concept. I don't think I'm qualified enough to maybe comment on, I mean, I'm not an English, I don't have a degree in English or anything. But I thought it was pretty good. Pretty novel idea. Um, it's one of these books I read to expand my horizons. Um, Another book that I'll probably get around to reading this time next year is, just see, The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I don't know. Apparently it's the hardest book to read ever from what I've done in research, and it's fucking massive. And the font size is tiny and the pages are thin as fuck. So that's gonna be very fucking frustrating to read. Because when I was reading Lolita, I felt like I wasn't paying attention. Like, I got the main points. Well, obviously, not all of them, not of the identity of the paedophile, the bad guy paedophile. Um, it's interesting because you see Humbert degrade over the book, and eventually realizes, oh, I've done a bunch of bad shit. Because in the beginning, by the way, there's an afterword in this book written by like a real life English professor, and I think a lot of this, like he's uh, enlightened me on by reading his afterword, and which is included in the book. Um, this must be dreadful to listen to. That he event in the beginning of the book, Humbert's all like, "Oh, the sex was wonderful and she enjoyed it," but then he's like, "Oh, but she was like," but then at the end of the book, she's like, "Oh yeah, now I remember her sobbing every night when I was with her alone, when her mother was dead." And it's like, God damn, because he sort of realizes the monster he's become at the end of the book. There's some cool shit in there. The afterwards pretty cool. Enlightened me on some stuff. When Humbert kills the pedophile, apparently it might be symbolic of him killing the sort of monster, sort of sexual side of him, and only leaving the romantic side. Only wants the company of Lolita, rather than the beastly sort of sexual side that wants to have sex with her. And it's like, oh, it's symbolic how after he drives on the wrong side of the road, and it's like, oh, how unusual this side of the road is. So maybe it's that side of his personality is not used to accessing a sort of more romantic side. There's two, like, also, um, the afterword ends on this. Apparently, well, there's two characters, like minor side characters, that live in a house. Because eventually, at one point, Humber and Lolita sort of move to another town, and these two female professors, Miss Lester and Miss Fabian. Miss Lester and Miss Fabian, uh, which spells out lesbian. What? What? That genuinely blew my mind when I read it. Because I was like, why? Why would you even what? But anyway, it's never been 10 minutes. It's gonna be a chunkier fucking Pojo Stalin this month. Um, Join me next issue where I give my uninformed ramblings about another thing. It's not gonna be a classic. There's a book that I'm reading now. It's the novelization of Doctor Who, Day of the Doctor. But anyway, goodbye. Okay, I think we're good. Welcome to. Well, we're not doing a top 5 this week. I was going to do a top 5 things like about Sinnoh, top 5 Sinnoh Pokemon, but I thought that'd be a bit boring. So I'm just going to do. I'm going to rank Pokemon by their sexiness. Gen 4 Pokemon. A tier, we've got Stunning. This is like the best of the best. B tier is like okay. You're not the best, but you're still pretty. C is average. D is like you technically qualify. E is gross. You're going to be reviled, making out. And Z is it's literally impossible, or it's immoral to fuck this person or Pokemon, I should say. Anyway, let's begin. Turtwig. Looks like it's got a pretty nasty bite. It's not stunning. It's not pretty. It's not even average. It'll do. It'll do. Because it's probably got a nice ass, so you could probably like get off to that. Grottle. Same deal. And it's got trees on it. That's a bit nasty. It's not gross. It'll do. Can I move it right next to it? Nope. Torterra's got a nice big ass. Looks pretty spiky. He's got a tail which would get in the way. But it'll do. Chimchar. The female Chimchars probably have vaginas, so it'd probably be close to fucking a human. However, Chimchar looks fairly small. Can you get adult Chimchars? And it'd be too close to fucking a child, would it be? So just out of decency, it's going in Z tier. It's unfuckable. Monferno, it doesn't look pretty. It's an animal. Then again, it's better than a fucking turtle, so or tortoise, so it's going in C. It's average, isn't pretty. Um, this sort of weird ape. Same with Infernape. Looks like it's got breasts, which is pretty good. Piplup. Again for... Well, I like how I put Turtwig in... Well, then again, Piplup's not human, so I guess it's okay. Honestly, it looks like it's got slippery skin. So, that'd be quite nice. Same with the whole line, actually. Put those in average. All of this is going to be like anal. Starly might be a bit too small. I mean, it's like a solid foot, isn't it? It's not gross. It is fuckable. It's not stunning. It's not pretty. It'll do. It's got feathers, I suppose. But these guys are bigger units. Staravia and Staraptor. Bidoof. Looks like it's got a nice ass. My gut feeling is to put it in C tier. And Bibarel. There's plenty there. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Cricketune and Cricketot, they're insects. Not mammals at all, so they're just unfuckable and gross. Gross E tier means it's fuckable, but it's gross. You wouldn't want to do it. Shanks looks like it's got a nice ass. It's probably got sharp teeth. None of these guys so far give good head. Average. Budu's is a plant, but that bud looks nice though, so it'll do. Roserade is a plant. It's probably got a nice ass. Does it even shit though? Well, it eats. It's like, well, there it's a plant, but it could probably give good head though, and it looks like a woman. Um, yeah, that's our first B tier. It looks like a woman. Could you give head? It's a plant. I don't know how that would feel. But then again, it could probably, I don't know, does it secrete wax? Um, is it Cranidos? Can't remember. It's a dinosaur, but it'll do. But it's probably got nasty ass teeth. Um, it'll do. Was it Barbados? I don't know. Is average. Sheldon. It's probably got a nice ass, but it'll do. It'll probably be a tight fit. This guy Bastardom. You said a horrible, horrible head. It's probably got a nice ass though. I'll do. Now the Burmese. The Burmese. Do they even have mouths? You couldn't do anything with them. Their mouths are too small. They could suck your finger, I suppose, but you could do nothing with these guys at all. The same with, or there's Wormadams. You couldn't do anything with them either. Let me just add these to the Z tier. Morphem's is an insect. You couldn't do anything with that. That'd be a bit gross. Could you do anything with it? Um, no, you couldn't. It's an insect. It's like impossible. Same with comb. You couldn't do anything with it. Maybe you rub your balls on it, but you couldn't do anything with it. Unfortunately, you couldn't do anything with Respiquin. I suppose you could stick your knob in the honey. Yeah, that's going in B tier. Um, Again, it's an insect. This maybe says a little bit my character. That the two B tiers are plants and insects. Well, what have we got in Z tier? A primate. Well, child primates, we can't do fuck all. Insect, insect, and just insects. Okay, so Pachirisu is a squirrel. It's probably its ass is going to be too small. And it's got nasty ass claws. Um, you couldn't do anything with a squirrel. Um, Weasel. Um, Probably has a nice ass, and it's a mammal, and it's slippery. Um, Average. Floatzel looks like it's got a bit of shit going on. Average. Chirim. Couldn't do anything with it. That's a fleshlight. That's pretty good. That's essentially just a fleshlight. It would probably be toxic, but then again, you'll have to do. You might get poisoned. I don't know this thing's name. You couldn't do anything with it. Fun fact: I hate slugs. I appreciate them, but they gross me out a little bit. So that's the first gross tier. I wouldn't be able to do anything there. Closest thing to a lassie. It's a balloon. Can't do fuck all with it. You could do some shit with the hole, I suppose. But again, it's a balloon. It's going to be like plastic and shit. Binary. It's a rabbit. It'll do. It's probably got a. It's probably tiny though. We're not doing mega evolutions. Just because that's technically Gen 6. So we'll skip Mega Binary for now. Can we delete that? We'll just ignore it. That's a ghost. You can't do anything. Well, no, I suppose a ghost could use its spooky powers to get you off. Yeah, alright. That'll do. Haunch Crow's a bird. It's probably got a decent ass though. This is all I'm saying this fucking in this video. Glamio's a cat. Its ass would probably be too small. Purugly. You know what? There's plenty there. I honestly do any size. Why am I even making this video? Fuck me. I guess it's a cat, and it probably has a vagina as well. So you know, that's an A tier. And people are going to see this video. Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so Chingaling, could probably give decent head again, but the ringing, but it's gonna be made of metal. You'll cut yourself. Skunky, yeah, these guys will probably be gross. It'd stink up the place. Bronzong's made of metal. You're made of metal. You're a rock. You're a child. Um, you'll do. You'd be too small. You're a ghost. You could tiddle me winks. Uh, Gabite. That skin looks. No, it could be slippery though. Um, then look at all those nasty spikes and shit. Yeah, no way it's given head. Um, the Christ. Um, but it's probably a slippery skin, right? I'll put the whole family in the average tier. Just go watch yourself for the spikes though. Again, we're not counting megas. Munchlax. Just out of respect for Munchlax. I love just out of respect. I wouldn't do anything with a Munchlax. Riolu is probably gonna be too small and shit. This people have a very tight bony ass. I think it's a female. It's probably a vagina, so um put that in B tier. No megas. You know how I feel in this matter. Then again, does it have sand coming out of its ass and its fanny? You know how I feel in this matter. It's a fucking scorpion. I don't. Do frogs have vaginas? They don't. They lay eggs, don't they? So it's probably poisonous as well. Carnivine, you couldn't do anything to. These guys, these fish guys, you couldn't do anything to. Whoops. Look, it's a stingray thing. Stingrays don't have vaginas, do they? It's slippery, I suppose. I'll put it in, it'll do. A Yeti, fairly close to a woman. I'll put that in C tier. Same with a Bomb the Snow. Weavile. What is it supposed to be? What is it supposed to be? I'll put it in average. Okay, it's a fucking UFO. Then again, it has aliens in it and shit. But then it could probably fuck around in my nerves, right? Right? Good. Good to fuck around with my nerves and shit. In my pee-pee, so... Licky. I'll be honest with you. That looks like a fun time. It's prob... I don't know. Has it got a vagina and an ass? I don't know, it's probably got a fantastic head, but... Well, it's at least B tier. I'm revealing my fucking character, aren't I? It's probably like B tier. At least. um... like if you just wanted to have madness, like you would, like this wasn't about love or anything. This was just like You just it's the equivalent of a flashlight. So it's just a very good flashlight essentially. Okay. Was it Rhyperia? That's made of rocks. I suppose you could get yourself off to that, but it'd be dangerous. Tangrowth, is that hair? Again, like, you know, getting like you don't know if you've got like a pube stuck on the head, but it's pretty fucking uncomfortable to like removing it. I'm gonna say gross. It'd just be uncomfortable. This guy's probably got a muscly ass. I'll say it'll do. But if it was a woman though, it's got a vagina. Um, you never fucking know. I mean, technically all Pokemon lay eggs, but um, I'll stick it there. And I'll stick because it looks pretty muscly and manly. Um, it'll do. It's got a nice ass. You're an insect. Ah, you'll do. You're a cat, you got vagina and shit. Gliscor? I don't think you could do anything with a Gliscor. Because again, it's a scorpion, you'd risk poisoning yourself. I know that not all scorpions do that, but I will say it will do. Mamoswine. Um, it's not humanoid. You'd maybe even the concept's grossing me out a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just too unhuman like to do anything. You're literally a fucking computer virus. It doesn't stop some cunts on the internet, but still. Gallade, you're literally a dude. No, you're not unfuckable, but you've probably got a nice ass though. You're not gross. Handsome guy. Christ. Yeah, it's a robot. Now, it's got a big hole in the center. Well, then again, it's a ghost. Wait, it could summon things from the shadow realm to fuck with you. So, then again, it's a ghost. Okay, that's hell you're dealing with. So, Frostlass. I hear the word lass. It's a ghost. It will be very cold. I could summon demons to possess your cock, and maybe you could ejaculate from that. But then again, it's cold and shit. And I'm pretty sure it's evil, so put you there. Rotom is an electric ghost, but it could fuck with the nerves. So in a way, in a way, in a way, people, it is really fuckable. Because think about it, it could possess the nerves in your cock. Rotom heat form. It's an oven. Would I fuck? Mess with an oven? You gotta watch out for toxic chemicals and shit, but it'll do. Yeah. A fridge? Yeah, a fridge will do. A lot. No. No. In fact, I'm gonna put that in gross. Because that's just gore right there. That's just gore. That's just gore. That's gross. And now, now onto the legendaries. these guys have psychic abilities, so they probably give really good like hand jobs. Um, Probably really good hand jobs. Yeah, I'm gonna. Then again, I'm pretty sure there's other psychic types on this list. Um, and they're legendary, so they probably give very good hand jobs. So they could probably make you feel any sensation they desired. So in a way, they are A tier. You know, I am single, by the way. I don't know if you could tell. Um, Dialga, the god of time. I don't know if I the god. It's a dragon. Like, it's not exactly human, and it's got a lot of metal sharp bits coming off it. Does it shit? Does it have an ass? I don't know if you could actually fuck the god of time. Does the god of time need to shit? The legendaries can't even reproduce, can they? Why would it have an asshole or a? You know, would it need to eat? Same with Palkia. Heatram, is the surface of its body not like 1,000 degrees? Then again, these guys don't need to reproduce, but you do eat, so you do shit, so you do have an ass. So you'll do. Regigigas, now my boy, now we're talking. Um, do you need to eat Regigigas? I'm not quite sure if you need to eat. Oh no, you can give hand jobs though. Then again, you'd probably crush my cock. You'd probably crush it. Giratina, same thing. I don't think you have any of the orifices, whatever it is, that I require. Cresselia, same thing. You look fairly feminine, but you're too small. Aren't you a child, actually? Put you there then. Because you're meant to be a child, so. No, wait. Are they both children? I think they're both children, actually. Darkrai, causes nightmares. You probably couldn't do anything with it. You'd probably get a nightmare. Or maybe it's only when you're sleeping. It's a ghost. And I suppose a ghost could give like good, could get its pals around to give you good head. It's sort of haunt your cock. The point that's been raised a lot in this video, it's not average, it'll do. Free left. It's a hedgehog. It's too small. You could probably try something though. Looks like it would. Then it's a bit gross. It's a wild animal. It's a bit gross because its poo's not going to be the same, and I'm gonna put that in gross. And finally, God. God. Does the God of Pokemon is it's an animal? I don't think Arceus can transform into anything. I don't think it can transform at all. You can switch it to any type, I suppose. So I suppose in a way. So it could turn into a psychic type or an electric type and mess with the nerves in your in your love rod. Anyway, that is the Gen 4 Pokemon ranked in terms of fuckability. I'm not doing in terms of order, like I'm not doing like ordering them within the ranks. So all these A tiers are like roughly the same. We've left out the Mega Evolutions. But yeah, this will be the last sort of Gen 4 related thing, I'd think. At least for a while, because there's no reasons for another Gen 4 thing. But yeah, what a glorious celebration of Gen 4. than fuckability. Anyway, see you concert round. That's all for Pojo Style number 5. Yeah, I'll see you in December. Or actually, I'll see you in January when I post December's one. Um, yeah, until then, goodbye.